During the last few months, Hunter Army Airfield and Fort Stewart have gained quite a few new members of their leadership staff. New at 3 in this Meet Your Military Monday, WTOC's Don Baker introduces us to Fort Stewart's Colonel Mathew Ross.
Thank you so much, Colonel Mathew Ross, for being with us from Fort Stewart. You are the Deputy Commanding General of Maneuvers.
That's right, Don. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and welcome to Savannah, because you've only been here about a month, right?
That's right.
Okay, tell me a little bit about what your division does.
Okay, so I am the Deputy Commander for Maneuver for 3rd Infantry Division, and we have 2 Deputy Commanders. One focuses on support and the other on maneuver. So really what I do on a day-to-day basis is I focus on how we are training and employing our tactical units. And I'm really excited about what we've got going on right now. So right now within 3rd Infantry Division, we are changing the way that we train Armored Brigade combat teams, providing them more variety in how they train day to day to make sure that we can increase their lethality. And then we've also got a lot of exciting things going on in the innovation front.
Wow. And what is it like to leave Fort Stewart and other places where you've served, to leave your families, to leave your community, and take on this very big mission?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Dawn. So I've had the good fortune of living in a number of different places since I've been in the Army. I've been in the Army for about 23 years. And what I have found with our Army installations and units is we always have a really good relationship with the community that's around them. Because our soldiers will come and go, and sometimes they're on operations or deployments or trips where it takes them away from their family, but the community really comes around their families and supports them. So for me, I've always been kind of excited when I'm off to do something new and get to go to a new place, but always excited to come home and see the family and get back integrated into the community.
Speaking of the community, we know that you all are a very big part of how we operate and vice versa. What can we do as just regular citizens every day to show our support for what you all are doing?
Yeah. So I think, we were talking just a little bit before this started, I think the integration of our families, especially on post, and some of our young family members into the schools and into the community, that is huge for us. You know, we have kids who move every couple of years, every 2 to 3 years, and they're constantly trying to get integrated into a new community, into new sports teams. They come with different experiences and different skills, but the way we receive them, I think, is really important. And we own a component of that on Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield to make sure that we receive those families well. But I think the community does as well, and we always appreciate the support.
Tell me about some of your most memorable assignments in uniform.
So I've had, like I said, the good fortune of living a number of different places. We did live in Germany for about 4 years, and that was great because I never thought we'd have a chance to live in Europe. But more than the assignments and the locations, I think what has been more impactful for me is the people. And it's the people you have a chance to influence. It's the next generation of Army leaders. It's the youth and the teams within our communities. I spent some time working as a wrestling coach for a high school program in North Carolina when I was there for a while, and that was very rewarding for me. And then the military officers and non-commissioned officers that I get a chance to work with every day, to me, that's some of the most impactful work that I can do.
That sounds wonderful. So more than 20 years you have been in the military, and you made this commitment before September 11th. So were you the young man who always dreamed of being a soldier?
Yeah, I wouldn't describe myself like that. I would say that I came in the Army before September 11th, 2001, and I actually didn't plan on making it a career. I planned on staying in for 5 years and then probably transitioning out. And then when September 11th happened, my wife and I were living at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, just across the water there from New York City. And some of the families that she was working with were deeply affected, both personally and professionally, when the attack took place on the World Trade Center. So for us, that changed our lives. So following that, I went back to the Army and I said, hey, I think we're going to be going to conflict, and if that's the case, I want to be in one of the first units to leave, and this is the job that I want. And they were, I was lucky enough for them to offer me that. And what I found then over the next several years, where I spent several of them deployed, is I really enjoyed the mission and I enjoyed the people that I worked with. And so if we had this conversation 23 years ago, I never would have expected that we'd be having it today with me in uniform. But I'm thankful for the opportunities that I've had in the Army.
And we're so thankful that you answered the call and you stayed. So many people go for a few years, and in the back of their minds, they're mainly thinking about how quickly they can get out. So it's just wonderful, and congratulations and thank you so much for your service.